Hi guys, it's Ankita. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about all the books I read in March. The first book I read was The X Hex by Erin Sterling. This is a witchy second chance romance. In this, the protagonist, Vivian, she breaks up with her boyfriend. So she is nursing a heartbreak and she's extremely mad at her ex. So she and her cousin, they cast a spell on him. 9 years later, she and her ex meet and they realize they have feelings for each other. They still have feelings for each other, so they rekindle their romance. However, they start noticing that things around her ex are going horribly wrong, and she realizes the spell that she had cast 9 years, almost a decade ago, is now taking effect. Yeah, quite interesting, huh? There are many cute, atmospheric, Halloweeny elements in this book that I liked. My major problem with this one was that I just couldn't feel the chemistry between the couple. So when they were together, it felt more like they were lusting after each other than them actually being in love. What I did like though is the cover. I think it is beautiful. The colors just work. The next book I read is A Letter to Three Witches. This is another witchy book. I wasn't particularly looking for witchy books to read in March. I was just looking for lighthearted romance, and these two happened to fit the bill and they were available at my library. So yeah, another witchy book. I enjoyed this one. I really liked it. There's some really cute elements in this, like enchanted cupcakes and spells going wrong, and the spells in this one, they were really funny, amusing, lighthearted, and just overall I really liked it. The best thing in this book were chapters from the point of view of a cat, exactly a cat. So those chapters were full of sass and attitude. I love those. If you want to know more about this book, I did a spoiler-free review on my channel, obviously. So you can go ahead and check that out if you want more details. The next book I read is a murder mystery, A Fatal Grace by Louise Penny. This was an almost 5-star read. I think I rated it 4.5. Very close. This is the second book in Chief Inspector Armand Gamache series. I think I read the first one in Feb this year and I absolutely loved it. You don't have to read these books in any particular order, but I think I enjoyed this more because the setting of the story, right? The story is set in the same village as it was in the first book, so there are some recurring characters, and the events in this book take place a year after the events in the first book. So it was nice to know what the characters were doing after a year. Anyway, let's talk about this book. So a woman is murdered in the village of Three Pines, and this woman is the most unlikable woman, or was the most unlikable woman in the village. And it was interesting to see how Armand Gamache goes about investigating a murder of such a woman, right? Because she was so unlikable, it didn't simplify his investigation at all. And I love Armand Gamache's style of investigation. He absolutely immerses himself in the village life. He gels with the villagers, he gets to know them, and he has a very intricate understanding of human behavior, which he uses to solve his cases. We also get a glimpse of some departmental politics in this, which is an element that I really like when I'm reading, detective stories. All in all, this is a very traditional mystery with no over-the-top drama or any glam. Yeah, if you are looking for a mystery that is set in a village, then I'll highly recommend this book to you. The next book I read is Interview with the Vampire. I truly think this book was written for me. How conceited can I be, right? But seriously, when I was reading this book, I felt I was there, and Louis, a vampire in this, was telling me, the narrator was telling me his story. There are two main vampires in this book. The first one is Lestat, who is vengeful, vindictive, and manipulative. He turns Louis into a vampire for his own selfish reasons. And Louis is nothing like Lestat. Louis is a sensitive soul. He struggles to come to terms with his immortality. He struggles to be a vampire. He's very reluctant to embrace his vampire side. And Louis is a vampire who does not celebrate his immortality. He does not revel in the fact that, oh, he is unbeatable, he's the best of all the creatures. He does not. Instead, he has these really deep questions of life, and Lestat is not really able to provide him with those answers. And so Louis sets on a journey to find answers to his questions, find meaning for his existence. So it is his journey we follow in this book. The story is set in, I think, 1700s or 1800s in New Orleans, and in the later half of the story we move to Europe. The language is so descriptive, and it is laced with darkness and meaning. So the language is perfect. It sets a perfect gothic and dark setting. And it makes me wonder, Anne, where were you? Why didn't I pick this book up before? But I'm not disappointed, because there are, I think, 13 books in the series, and this is just the first. And the next one, I believe, is about Lestat. So I want to know more about him, because in this book, even though I said like he's a vindictive person, he is not a good guy, but then we do see a side of him in this book which did make me question if there's more to him than just the side that he likes to show everyone. Having said that, I don't think this book is for everyone. If you are someone who is looking for a very strong plot and only love books with good plot, this might not be for you. Or maybe you read this book and you find that, oh, now you like character-driven stories, because this is very much character-driven. It focuses on Louis, it focuses to a certain extent on Lestat. It focuses on relationships rather than just the plot, right? Yeah, I love this. I gave it 5 stars. The next and the last book I read in March is The Secret Garden. This is a perfect book to read at the beginning of spring or any time in the spring. And I'm so glad I read this one. It's a beautiful story of how nature, and in this case, a secret garden, heals a surly, sour girl and a sick boy. So it's all about the power of nature. It's all about how nature can improve your mental and physical well-being. And it's filled with beautiful description of the moors. I'm planning to do a separate video dedicated to this book, reviewing this book. So yeah, so those are all the books I read in March. I'm really happy about how March went about. It started with books that were not that great, but it ended with 5-star reads. And what more can I ask for, right? Do let me know if you have read any of these books or if you plan to read them in the future. And thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you watching it. And please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.